My name is Andrew Stephen Rose. Welcome to the show. For years, I've been known as the gym guy. This show isn't about the gym. Some of it might be, but most of it, it's about business, it's about health, it's about your life, your relationships, and optimizing all of it to be the best you can be. One of my core values is radical accountability. And in the last few weeks, as I've talked with more people, had a few interviews, I'm realizing that these people have come to the realization on their own, in their own lives, that this same concept is a cornerstone. And what I mean by radical accountability is that on any given day, I'm going to take a look at where I'm at, what I'm doing, the situations I'm in, and the outcomes that I'm experiencing. I'm going to look at them and ask myself, what have I done to create this reality? What responsibility do I play in creating this reality? Now, I'll use a couple of specific examples just in my interactions with people over the last few weeks, couple months. And one in particular comes to mind, and it's actually happened several times. And as it pertains to my coaching. Now, when I'm talking to guys that are of a certain age, right? I'm specifically marketing to guys over 35. I truly believe that we have a unique set of needs, a unique set of circumstances, whether it's, we've got families or businesses, maybe it's a marriage or second marriage or whatever. There's a lot of things that are pulling us in a lot of different directions. So in that, it's very common for us to put our own needs second or third or not even on the list. So we're not necessarily producing the outcome that we want, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, financially, whatever it might be. And it's very easy in the culture that we live in to point the finger at everything else, everyone else. Well, it's because of this, or it's because of that, it's because of this person did this to me, I didn't have this opportunity, whatever. So if you find yourself in that scenario, right, of I'm not where I want to be, and my first instinct is to blame other people or experiences or where you came from, check yourself. Because you're a grown-ass adult. It's one thing if an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old uses that as a reason to justify where they are. Well, it's because Tommy was bullying me at school or whatever. Just that's fine. An 8-year-old. That's a conversation for a different day. But you're a grown-ass adult. You don't have the money in your account that you want. You don't have the relationship that you want. You don't have the relationship with your kids that you want. Your business isn't doing what you want it to do. Your bank account does not look the way you want it to. I may have already said that, but I digress. Take a good long look at yourself. Look in the mirror and be objective. What decisions am I making on a day-to-day basis that are putting me in this situation? And similarly, why is it okay for me to blame other people for my outcome? Think about that again. Why is it okay for me to blame other people for my outcome? And let that sink in. Because a good deal of you listening to this right now at some point or another have done this. And if you're in a situation where you're not happy with the outcome, you're physically unhealthy, You're financially unhealthy. Relationally, it's not where you want it to be. This time, instead of pointing a finger at someone or something else, look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I doing on a daily basis that is producing this outcome? Look to yourself first. If you fix your own shit, you'll change your outcome. If I'm in a relationship and I'm begging my partner to be a certain type of way with me, but I'm also not looking at how my own behavior in that relationship is affecting my partner, it's never going to work. If my business is not doing as well as it could be, and I'm looking at every other business that's doing the same thing I am, and they're more successful, and I'm spending a massive amount of time criticizing or critiquing what somebody else is doing, instead of taking a long look at what I'm doing as a business owner. What am I doing to produce the results that I want in my business? It's never going to work. Same thing with kids. If I don't have the relationship that I want with my son, is it because of my situation? Or is it because I'm not doing enough as a father to create a better environment? Unfortunately, the way that we live today, it is so easy to just blame everyone else for what we don't have, instead of looking at ourselves and going, fuck, what if I just put in a little bit more effort here? What if I just became a better human being? What if I got smarter? If my business isn't working well, maybe I don't know everything I need to know. I should probably put a little bit of time and invest in that. Invest in becoming a better business person. Invest in becoming a better partner. Invest in the help that's going to make you physically healthier. And I mean, tying it all, I had this conversation this morning with a client. If you take better care of yourself physically, mentally, you will feel better. You'll start to dress better. You'll take better care of yourself. You will present yourself better. You will be more confident, and you will execute better. It starts with you. And a common theme I've had with several of the podcasts I've already recorded, I bring this up all the time, and I want you to ask yourself this question. When was the last time you were on an airplane? Think about it. And when the pre-flight safety meeting or the pre-flight safety recording came on and the flight attendant was going through their whole rigmarole in the front of the plane, you weren't paying attention, because we don't pay attention to it. But the next time you're on a plane, I want you to do this. Listen to what they say, because there is a moment when they talk about the cabin losing pressure and an oxygen mask deploying from overhead. Remember what they say. Oxygen mask comes down from overhead. Secure your own mask before helping others. What does that mean? It means take care of your own shit first. And if you do that on a consistent basis, you will become better. And that will positively affect everyone and everything around you. You can wallow in your own shit. By all means. Fuck, I've done it. I have sat in my own miserable state for days and weeks on end when things didn't go the way I wanted them to. I didn't experience the outcome that I wanted. And I sat and felt bad for it and tried to blame everybody else for why I was where I was. But ask yourself this question. The next time Or maybe you're in something right now where things are not going your way. Ask yourself this question. What is one thing today I can do differently? What is one thing I can do to positively affect change in who I am and what I put out into the world? There's a quote, and I don't remember who said it, but it was one of my courses in college. I went to a private Catholic college. It was a religion class. We had to take so many of them. Most of them I really wasn't checked in for, but this particular professor, she was amazing. And there was a quote about, again, I don't remember where it comes from. I'd have to look it up. But the quote reads loosely, where you stand determines what you see. And if you want to see things differently, you have to move. If you're only looking at your life from where you are right now, and you're refusing to get up, move yourself around, metaphorically speaking, not necessarily physically. If you refuse to see things from a different perspective, you're always going to look at the same thing. You're always going to blame the same people or the same things or the same situations. And if you're a parent, what are you teaching your kids? If you're wallowing in your own misery because your outcome is not what you wanted, you didn't get what you wanted, so you're going to stomp your feet and cry and act like a little fucking baby. And yeah, this is harsh, but you need it. So maybe today you take a look in the mirror and go, what can I do different? How can I change my outcome? Because ultimately, you are the only one responsible for your outcome, no one else. So this concept of radical accountability, why it's a cornerstone, not just in my coaching, but in the way that I live my life, is because I've been in countless scenarios where I did not have the outcome that I wanted and I blamed other people. Because it's easy. It's easy to point the finger away from you at other people and go, it's because of this, or it's because of that person, or this thing. No. And it's a tough decision. It's hard to point the finger at yourself. It's hard to call yourself out on your own bullshit. But if you spend a couple of minutes every day reflecting on how your day transpired. Frank Parisi talked about this, that he does an accountability check every day. He's accountable to himself. And every day he spends a few minutes reflecting on how his day went. Did it go the way I wanted it to? Did I experience the outcomes that I wanted? And if I didn't, why? It's not to look at yourself and beat yourself up for failing at something. It's taking an inventory of the things that you did and the experience that you had and what you brought into your life. And also what you put out into the world. Is that in line with the person I want to be? Is that in line with the father that I want to be or the mother that I want to be? Is it in line with the partner or the spouse that I want to be? Is it in line with who I want to be as a business owner, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, whatever? Is who I am today, the decisions that I made today, do they line up with my core values? And this brings up another point. What are your core values? If you don't have those, it might be time to start thinking about that, because your core values, no matter what, should guide everything that you do. I'm not just talking about the gym. I'm not talking about the kitchen. Not just talking about your business. It's how you live your life every minute of the time that you're awake. What guides you? For me, my core values are authenticity, relentless pursuit, and radical accountability. They are integral to everything that I do. So at the end of the day, when I reflect on how my day went, there are 3 core values by which everything is graded. Whatever my goal is for that day, did I pursue it relentlessly? Did I refuse to give up on it? Was I accountable to myself and what I put out into the world, the image that I portray, the leadership that I exhibit, the way that I am as a parent? Did I execute on those? And when it comes to authenticity, am I exactly who I say I am? Am I being the man that I'm telling myself that I am? So it's one thing to present an image to the world. Social media, we can pursue or we can present any image we want. But is it true to who you are? Authenticity, radical accountability, relentless pursuit. Obviously, today we're talking about radical accountability because it's on my mind. It's important because I've heard it time and time again. People in so many conversations that I've had, especially over the last few weeks in my marketing and my coaching business, I ask a lot of really deep questions because I'm trying to get to the root of why these guys are where they are and what is keeping them from getting to the level they want to get to. And the number one thing that comes up is accountability. So ask yourself that question. When things are not going your way, whose fault is it? Upon whose feet does that blame lie? And if the answer isn't you, do some self-reflection. I'm not sitting here saying everything is your fault. No. But I think it's fair to say that a majority of things that happen in our lives can be avoided, can be changed, can be improved if we point the finger to ourselves first and say, what is it that I can do right now to start to experience a different outcome? I can't force other people to do what I want them to do. That's not possible. We don't live in an age where that's a thing. I can just force you to do what I want you to do because I told you to. That's not genuine. But take a deep look. I truly, like, when you're done listening to this, or you're done watching this, take a couple minutes, pull a journal out. I don't care if it's just some paper out of a legal pad, and start writing it down. Maybe do it first thing in the morning or before you go to bed. 5 minutes. What did I do today that positively or negatively affected my pursuit of a specific outcome? And if you missed the mark today, now you know how to prioritize your tomorrow. So if you are blessed enough to wake up the next day, you already know where you fell short before. So if you know where you fall short and you don't give it the attention that it needs, your outcome will never change. And then you get stuck. Stuck is a state of mind. I'm an empathetic human. But there is a point where I lack sympathy. As if you are in a situation where you have direct control over your own outcome and you don't take charge of that, it falls on your feet. If you have 58 cents in your checking account and you've got bills to pay and you can't pay them, and it's not the first month this has happened, it's not the second or the fifth, this is a pervasive thing. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of your own needs. And if you're not doing that, how the fuck are you going to be able to take care of someone else's? Similarly, what are you then teaching other people around you? What are you teaching your children? What are you showing your spouse or your partner? That's my message for the day. It's a quick one, but I do want you to take some time to think about it. I mean that. Get out a piece of paper, write it down. Where did I succeed today? Where did I fall short? You don't need to focus on your successes of today, tomorrow. Focus on your shortcomings tomorrow, from today. Improve on those. Turn those into a success. Move the needle. I've spoken about this before. If you just aim to be 1% better in some area, 1%, move the needle. 1% today, 1% tomorrow, 1% the next day. It's consistently moving the needle. So take a good hard look at where you're at. Take a good hard look at who you're blaming for where you're at, or where you're pointing the finger for where you're at. You are in control of your own outcome. You're in control of your own destiny. We're all here for a reason. And I don't believe that we're all here just to exist. We're here to make an impact, whether it's on our community, whether it's on our families, our business. But if you're falling short in the area of accountability, what are you putting out into the world? You are showing those people you are in charge of affecting, people who are looking to you for leadership. You are showing them that it is okay in the face of failure or in the face of shortcomings to shirk accountability and put it on someone else. So I suggest you don't do that tomorrow. Start tonight. Pick up that piece of paper. Write down where you succeeded. Write down where you failed. And tomorrow when you get up, look at where you failed today and move the needle 1% toward success. That's it. And repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. And your life will be better for it. Have a great day.